I thank the gentleman for his fine speech and call upon the Deputy Prime Minister to take the floor.
Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, thank you for the floor. It's an extreme honor to be here. I would like to thank the organizers and the wonderful volunteers which made my life as a clumsy idiot and breaking my foot much easier during this tournament. So thank you guys for your efforts, and now to the debate. I'm going to talk about why the adults have the right to genetically to use genetical science to enhance themselves, and I'm going to talk about why this technology has been demonized and why that is bad for society and why it should be available to all of society. But before that, some points of rebuttal. Now, one of the things that the opposition is saying is that basically we'll go around creating superhumans, that basically this is unjust because we live in a society, we want to promote a society of justice. What we say to that, Mr. Speaker, is that nature in itself is not just. What we're saying is this genetical technology is a tool created by mankind that helps divert the effects of an unjust nature. And we believe that that is good, and that's why we believe we should use it. Now, another thing that they have said is that this will not be in the interest of the child because parents might be disappointed. What we say on side proposition, when parents choose to have a child in the first place, they look up to many possible disappointments in the first place. Like your child, which was not genetically whose development was not genetically enhanced, might become a drug addict. And we think that that's a huge disappointment, a huge risk you enter into, but you enter into it because we're driven to reproduce. What we say is the state should make all available technology available to promote this, to facilitate this reproducing of humans. What we also say is that what they say is that the child will be disappointed when he finds out that he has been a result of a genetical process. No, that child will know that their parents loved him so much that they took great care and went through great pains to assure him a best possible future, in the sense of health, in the sense of acceptance, and in the sense of self-actualization. No, thank you. Now, we also think that this debate is not necessarily, is not the debate that the first law wants to show it about this will only be affordable to the rich people. We are not going on how specific countries have their health system organized. First law stood up and said, under the status quo, some countries already allow that to their pregnant women can genetically remove things from their fetus which are harming the fetus. Obviously, it's already being paid for by the state in those cases. What we're saying is this is not a debate about that. Every state decides its own social and health policy. This is a debate on giving parents the right that they already have to reproduce, and we as the state removing all barriers that they may do that in the best possible way. Now, coming to the point on why this is good for adults. We as adults have the right and the desire to self-actualize ourselves the most. We might have a condition that precludes us from having children. We would like to have that condition removed. We might have a condition that stops our self-actualization to an extent that we would like to achieve it. There is the technology there that can help us. Side opposition needs to show us why it is bad to use that technology to promote our self-actualization goal.
Isn't it true that you are already allowed in the status quo to remove conditions which prevent you from procreation?
Yes, you are allowed to, okay, you are allowed to do that, but there is a lot of other stuff that you are currently not allowed to do because we have this demonish cloud over us saying everything that has to do with genetics is bad. And this will be explained in my second argument why that in itself is bad. But going back to why it is good that genetic enhancement should be allowed to adults in general and to the society as a whole. Mr. Speaker, genetic enhancement, genetic science, genetic technology is something that was, it's a technology that was developed by mankind through scientific research and so on. It is very logical that the benefits of that research, that the benefits of that scientific progress come back to mankind as a whole. We do not see any difference between genetic enhancements to improve your chances of succeeding in society, of living a healthy life, of living a satisfactory life for yourself. We do not see any difference between that and between any other medical treatment that you might undertake in order to be a normal, functioning, healthy member of society. Now, let's go to this point of demonization of technology. Like, we have seen through the history of mankind a lot of demonization of progress. Like, for instance, if about 5, 6, 7,100 years ago you would say that the earth is round, they burned you at the stake. But did that stop? Did it stop that progress from going through? Did it, in the end, it always comes back to bite us. It says, well, it always is proved that progress is good. And what we're seeing now is we have a lot of religious organization, religious-feeling people who are saying, you want to play God, you're going to create mutants, freaks of nature, and you want to be above God. No, what we say is we want to use technology which has been demonized, we want to de-demonize it, and we want to give it back to humanity. And we think that is a logical process that has been going on throughout human history. We think it should be the same with genetic enhancement. What we basically believe is there are scientists who have spent a lot of time studying this. If we have their guarantee, and we have them, that this can help you, we should use that technology to help us. There have been instances in human history when we didn't want to accept technological breakthroughs. And what we're saying is, this is just one of them. And we are not going to create superhumans. We're not playing God. We are just logically progressing into the next state of awareness, into the next state of development, which helps us protect ourselves much better and helps us to lead better lives. And that's why we say that this technology, this genetic enhancement should be available to all. Because we think that if you try to take a disease out of your hereditary line, we think that if you want to self-actualize yourself more, you're not a superhuman. Because then we would say that everybody who has had a surgery which was necessary for their medical care is in a way superhuman because we go against nature and because we are unjust. So, Mr. Speaker, because it's good for the children, because it's good for the adults, because it's good for society as a whole, because it continues this logical line of human development and human progress, we are proud to propose this motion.